Okay, so we're back for episode 2 of YouCube, our series on the anniversary of the GameCube games that came out during the launch year. And this month is Pikmin. So the original Pikmin came out on the 14th of June, 2000 and... What was it? 2002, yeah.
It's
I'm like,
20th
what year is it?
anniversary.
Yeah, but that's what threw
2022
me.
minus 20.
Yeah. I just literally said
Math.
20. We're doing the 20th year, blah blah blah. And then I'm like, wait a minute, it's 2021, isn't it? No, it's not. 2022. So that was my amazing intro that I didn't mess up whatsoever, and I'm clearly not even going to bother to edit because who cares?
Yeah. It's weird
so
though, isn't it? Like, it's the 20th anniversary for us, or not you anymore because you're North America, but for Europe, it's the 20th anniversary. But in Japan and North America, it came out in 2001.
Yeah, I think that's what threw me because I'm over here now.
Yeah. So in Japan, it came out in October,
seeping into my brain.
and North America came out on the 2nd of December.
Yeah.
So they had it a good 6-7 months ahead of us over here in old Blighty.
Yeah, that's how it was though back then, wasn't it? We used to wait used to be years before. Sometimes it'd be like 2 years, like with Pokemon. I think Japan had Pokemon in '96, and we didn't get it till like what? We did it Christmas '98.
Yeah, possibly. I
Or
think the
99?
cartoon was out long before
insane.
we got the games, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had the cartoon for about 6 months before we even had the games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So everyone thought that Pikachu was going to be a starter Pokemon, and you play Pokemon, you're like,
yeah,
where's my Pikachu?
yeah, hiding in Viridian Forest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've back to Pikmin. That was very off-piste for us very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, we normally wait until we're like at least 10-20 minutes in, but no, 2 minutes in, and we're like, yeah, Pokemon.
And that'll come up every month, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We got it so months later.
Yeah.
But yeah, carry on.
Say let the people know what we've got. We've got a nice little preview from Space World that was written by Games Master Magazine that we'll be reading out later. Ian's got his facts as usual, the fact man.
Yeah.
And then we'll just have a chat about the game, and then I've got a quiz for Ian to see how well he did his research for his facts.
Okay.
So yeah, over to you, Ian.
All right. So, Pikmin came out in June 2002. I almost said 2022 then because we were just talking about 2022. So I've messed up now as well.
Was it 2001?
No, only in North America. Remember, because they get theirs first before we do, like Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
Just rehash that old story again. It was actually created by Shigeru Miyamoto, who, as everyone who is into video games should know, is like the mastermind behind basically everything good about Nintendo. Yeah. He created Donkey Kong, Kirby. Mario, Zelda, F-Zero, Star Fox. He's the go-to man. Did you know he's 69 years old?
Is he?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I know.
That's insane.
Good number.
Good number.
So he'll be retiring soon, I'm sure. Oh yeah, sorry. It's a good number because it's close to 100.
Yeah.
For the children. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's well received. So Metacritic have given it an 89 out of 100. I'm guessing Metacritic's out of 100. I don't know. Could be out of 200.
I would assume so.
Yeah. And most of the online and magazine publications gave it kind of like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. The famous Famitsu magazine gave it 34 out of 40.
See, I thought it didn't get reviewed very good at the time.
Well,
maybe not a lot of people bought it. Maybe that's what I'm remembering.
Yeah, possibly. Because
you'll know, you've got the numbers.
Talking of sales, it sold in its first week. It sold 101,000 copies. But then after that, the sales fell drastically to between 10 to 15,000.
Okay, so I was right.
Massive drop off. Yeah. As of March 2021, the Pikmin franchise, so all Pikmins, have sold a total of 7.46 million copies.
That's Pikmin 1, 2, and 3.
And then Hey Pikmin, which is on the 3DS, the Wii versions that were ported from the GameCube. And then I don't think it includes the mobile game.
I wouldn't have thought so. Not 7
No.
million.
No. So yeah, Pikmin 1 sales was only 1.6 million. Which, considering how much this game's kind of the fan
Permeated
base,
pop culture.
yeah. So obviously it spawned like there was animated shorts on the Wii U.
Yep.
It had a direct sequel on the GameCube. Pikmin 3 on the Wii U. There was a 3DS version called Hey Pikmin. There's a Pikmin Bloom on mobile, and Pikmin 4's in development. So it's obviously well liked by the fans. Maybe like
And lots of toys and merchandise.
yeah. So unless like maybe Pikmin 2 did a lot better in sales, which is where a lot of the fans came from. Perhaps.
Maybe.
I didn't look into that because this isn't a Pikmin 2 video.
No. Or maybe
Strictly
people just
Pikmin
love
1.
the merchandise.
Well,
They've never
yeah,
played the game.
possibly.
They're just like, oh yeah,
This is
love
a
it.
cute little thing. What is it?
Yeah.
Or maybe people know of Pikmin due to a message in a bottle you can get on Animal Crossing City Folk.
Ooh.
Because
I'm
Captain
worried you're going to
Olimar,
get
the
full marks on this
protagonist,
quiz now.
Captain
Facts
Olimar,
like
the
that, do you
protagonist,
feel it
yeah, sends a letter or a message of some sort in a bottle on the Animal Crossing game. I think City Folk was 3DS.
I don't know. Not done my research.
Okay,
that.
no. No. I think, yeah, Animal Crossing GameCube, I think was just called Animal Crossing, wasn't it? And then the one on the Switch is New Horizons. So I don't. Oh, there was no New Leaf was.
New Leaf
3DS.
was 3DS.
So this must
City
have
Folk
been
was
Wii U.
City Folk was on the Wii, just the Wii, wasn't it?
Oh, okay.
With
I don't know.
Wii speaking, you could go up and you could go. There was like the train. You could go to like the city or something.
Oh, yeah, I think I
I don't know.
vaguely remember.
Back down off-topic lane.
Yes, yeah, but that's basically all the numbers I have for you in the fact section of the show.
So, I guess we can go over and I'll read my Space World review. For anyone that doesn't know, Space World was Nintendo's big event in 2000 and was it 2001 or 2000? 2001, I'm going to say.
But that's when
Fact-check me.
GameCube was released, so I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think Space World 2001 because it was like a month before the GameCube came out for North America or Japan or whatever. But
Okay.
it was good for lots of info for England. So British journalists went over there from Games Master magazine, and this was their thoughts about it. So they've said, cuddly spacemen, hundreds of adorable little aliens, environments based on Shigeru Miyamoto's backyard. This looks like a game for kids, and no mistake. That's bad English. Except oddly it isn't. Beneath Pikmin's cute exterior beats the grown-up heart of Nintendo's first real-time strategy game with hordes of red, yellow and blue Pikmin under your control. Pay attention to that sentence, might be on the quiz. You need to organise them effectively, sending them off to knock down walls, kill giant enemies and hunt down the pieces of your lost ship. Cute but tough, just the way we like them. And then it goes on to say, see the bruises on our faces? That's where Space World Security punched us hard in the face trying to tear us away from Pikmin, another Nintendo masterpiece. It's impossible not to form an attachment to your armies of Pikmin, and the sight of the aliens being gobbled up by huge birds or stamped on by giant spiders was a real gut wrench. What's amazing is how easy it is to command these cuties. We had teams of them dragging around dead enemies, bashing down walls in no time. Trust Nintendo to make a complex PC genre so console friendly. So yeah, that's their thoughts. Safe to say they thought it was pretty good. They gave it a 9 out of 10 for that anticipation rating, saying utterly unique and incredibly cute. Pikmin is a strategy game with a difference. It's brilliant. So yeah.
Okay.
What were your impressions when you first played it back in the time?
I really enjoyed it. I've always wanted to go back to it. Having said that, I never really played it that much. for one reason, which is a reason echoed by one of our followers at WTFDYWPod, that the squeal the Pikmins let out when they die was just too heartbreaking.
Their little souls, like.
Oh, yeah. I hated losing my Pikmin, so it made me really like upset and angry, so I just stopped playing it.
Yeah.
I'd rather not play it than have to lose any more fictional created aliens.
How far did you get with it? Have you never completed
I
it?
think I got to like the second level,
It's a
possibly.
game you've never completed.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
shocked.
I know. It's just I
Absolutely
couldn't.
shocked.
I had a heart and it kept breaking.
So I'm quite heartless, so I did play it to the end, to completion. Which is a surprise to me. I've played a game and actually completed it, which doesn't tend to happen. But yeah, the one thing I would say about it that I thought could have been better, which they did rectify in the subsequent games, was the time limit. It gave you 30 days, and each day
Yeah.
was 15 minutes long. And if you messed up too many times, you'd actually run out of days to be able to complete the game. So sometimes, if you're doing a playthrough and you'd messed up, it made more sense to just cut your losses and restart than to carry on, because you would be on like day 16 and know you just didn't have enough days left, which I thought was a bit of a poor mechanic from Nintendo, because it's almost like you can't recover if you get too far behind.
Was it like a collect one part of your ship per day?
You had to get at least one ship part a day.
Yeah, because there was
But
30 ship parts to collect.
yeah, but you can get more than one a day. Like later on, like so now, obviously I played it on the GameCube and I've played it multiple times, and then I had it on the Wii with the motion controls and stuff. So I know where a lot of the ship parts are, so you can get like 2 or 3 in one day.
Yeah.
Which makes things a lot easier. But I'm just talking from my perspective back then, being obviously like a young kid sort of thing, like a teenager, picking it up and not knowing what I was doing and things like that. I think that was quite a sort of restrictive thing. It's the reason why I managed to play it anyway, because I didn't actually own it. One of my friends had it, and he bought it, and he played it a bit, and he got stressed with it, so he just let me borrow it before he completed it.
Yeah, I think I got a bit stressed with it as well. I think now you've mentioned about the time limit again. Like I haven't played it since it was first launched, so that was 20 years ago. Yeah, now you've mentioned like the time limit and it's brought back some memories. And yeah, I think other than the Pikmin dying, it's just the stress of it. Like when you'd have a whole army and you'd go up against that big, like bug thing. I was going to call it a bug snack set because of the last video.
Big bug snacks.
And then like you lose half your army and you're just like, why do I bother? Then you have to like
stuff
go
like
and
that. Yeah.
farm more Pikmin.
Yeah, I can waste an entire day just recovering your Pikmin numbers back up.
Yeah.
For enough to have a go at one of like the bigger animals or something. Or like if you just, because the C stick lets you move your Pikmin to like you can move them to your right hand side or your left hand side, or behind you or in front of you. But sometimes if you're walking next to some water, and this is what I kept doing because I was so used to using the C buttons on the N64 to move the camera. I remember flicking the C stick to the left to try and turn the camera, but what I did is I just dumped all my Pikmin in the water, and then they just all drowned. Then you spend the time trying to recover them, and then you didn't get a ship part that day, and like it can be stressful. But I feel like I'm poo-pooing the game quite a bit, but it's actually really fun. Like that they managed to take the concept of a real-time strategy style and make such a unique game that works on a console, which is just crazy. I've played back then.
Yeah, I find real-time strategy games just don't usually work on consoles.
No,
I feel like they're more made for like PCs because you can do more commands at once.
Yeah, you've got more buttons.
Yeah,
you've got the mouse. You're not having to use a stick. But yeah, Pikmin just works. It's got the first game's got a bit of a steep learning curve because of the time limit. But it is relatively short. I think Nintendo were probably going through a thing with the GameCube, that sort of era, where they were making short, contained games that were really fun, had a lot of gameplay, but they were quite difficult if you didn't know what you were doing. So like Luigi's Mansion has a similar feel to the first
That was
Pikmin
very short.
in the way they, not in gameplay or anything like that, but in terms of game design process.
Yeah,
It was short and confusing and quite difficult the first time you played, but once you sort of got to know the game a bit more, you could do a lot more and get through it quite easily, and it would be very short. But
yeah. So the learning curve for me was learning which Pikmin did what. So
Yeah.
in the first game, obviously from subsequent games they added more different colours. But in the first Pikmin you had a red, a yellow and a blue Pikmin. The red ones were resistant to fire, but they were the strongest. The yellow ones could be thrown like a lot further and a lot higher. They could also carry bombs. And then the blue ones were able to survive in water and could throw other Pikmin across water. And it was kind of learning to alternate which Pikmin you were controlling for different scenarios. So if you needed to get like over a big gap, you'd have to like control your yellow ones and throw everyone over. And then if you had a fire battle, it's like best to use your fire Pikmin or the red Pikmin.
Yeah.
So
The red ones are actually stronger as well. Like I didn't realise, but they're actually, because I kept wasting like my blue Pikmin. I think the blue Pikmins are the weakest, so you'd use them. So I've got 100 blue Pikmin, whatever, and use them in a fight, and it just take ages to kill an enemy. And I was thinking, it didn't take this long before, but it's like, I'm using the red ones, and the red ones are they're like stronger. They hit harder, and they can take more sort of damage.
Yeah, but it's learning when to use what Pikmin in, like I said, in what scenario. But I think it lends itself great to the game and how the game works.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it gives you that sort of challenge of learning the mechanics of it to get the most enjoyment out of it. It's not like some games that are like more up to date where they kind of basically hold your hand like throughout.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like, land you on the first level. There's a bit of text with a rough idea, and it's like off you go.
Do you remember the name of the ship, Olimar's ship?
Yeah,
Is this one of your quiz questions?
It's one of my quiz questions.
Okay.
I think you want to ace the quiz. I think we're literally going to do it. And I'm going to start the question.
You said that about Smash Brothers though, and I only got 8 out of 10.
No, you got 6 out of 8, I think, because I only had 8 questions.
Oh well, either way, I still got 2 wrong.
There's only 8 questions again. I don't know why I keep doing it out of 8 questions. Weird.
Who knows? Yeah.
But yeah, Pikmin again with like Pikmin. It's almost got like a bit of a puzzly element to it, which I quite liked. It gives me the feel of, the first one anyway, gives me a feel of like when you sort of go into a Zelda dungeon and you go into a room and you have to look around and you've sort of got to figure out what you need to do in the room to then progress. It's a bit like that with areas in Pikmin. You've got, okay, what do I need? I need this Pikmin to do this and this Pikmin to get that, and if I do this and I can get that, So it's sort of, you need to like think about what you're doing, which is what I quite like about it as well.
Oh,
and it helps that they're really cute. Yeah.
This is why I hated them dying, because they were really cute.
Yeah.
And then the sound and the souls and that just drift. Oh, it just brings back so many horrible memories. Yeah.
I'll just get the sound effect and I'll just put it all through the video, just every now and then, just Pikmin dying. R.I.P. to the souls of Ian's Pikmin from 20 years ago.
But no, it is a very loved game. A lot of retro gamers and nostalgia gamers like really enjoy Pikmin. A lot of Nintendo fans enjoy Pikmin.
Yeah.
And I think it shows because, like I said, like Olimar appears only by message in Animal Crossing, but he's also in Smash Brothers now. Like he's a staple. They've introduced as an alternate, like the other character from like Pikmin 2. Yeah.
Louis.
And even in Smash Brothers, you can even use the Pikmin to fight for you.
Yeah. Pikmin's definitely got more popular as time's gone on.
It has.
I think a lot of GameCube players who weren't sort of like hardcore Nintendo fans sort of gave it a miss. and have probably played it maybe on the Wii later on when they've released the new Play controls. Lots of people I spoke to, they've played it, but they say they played it on the Wii with the motion controls.
I think this is the problem Nintendo had back in the N64 and GameCube days, where they were competing with PlayStation and PlayStation 2, and then the Xbox. A lot of people would see a Nintendo game and see it was colourful and bright, and just be like, "That's for children. I'm not playing that."
Yeah.
And it just had a reputation of being for kids.
Yeah.
But the games they're complex. They're really well made. They're really well thought out, and yeah, they're just incredible. Like I'd much rather
better
play
than every other game.
I'd much rather play a cel-shaded Wind Waker than like GTA 5.
Oh yeah, 100%. So much more like just charm and life in the game.
Yeah, despite all the sailing. Oh.
Yeah, despite the empty, barren sea.
But yeah, like that game still holds up. Like graphically, going off tangent again. Graphically, Wind Waker still holds up.
Yeah.
But I think that's like Nintendo like to try and do is make games graphically so they age relatively well.
Yeah.
Because Mario Sunshine still looks. I mean, it's not amazing, but it doesn't look as bad as like some of the N64 or PS2 games that have like been released.
Yeah, the PS2 games of the same era of the GameCube just look horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. They're just brown smudges, a lot of them.
But yeah, so I think anyone that's missing out on these Nintendo games should really check them out, because don't let the cover of the book portray the innards of the book. That's a poor... There's a saying along those lines, don't judge a book by its cover. That's what I'm basically trying to say.
That's what you were looking for, yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have any more facts about Pikmin the game that you want to share with us, or you feel like you're ready for the quiz?
I did have one. So, hidden on the GameCube disc of Animal Crossing is a debugged Windows version.
Weird.
Yeah.
How can you access that? Put it in a PC?
I have no idea. I just saw that on the internet and I was like, oh, I'll note that down. That could be interesting. I'll let some PC whiz, comment to tell us how that works.
I take it someone or people who worked on Pikmin must worked on Animal Crossing as well, for have Animal Crossing to have that many sort of references.
Possibly,
in it, I guess. Yeah.
But I think they were designing Pikmin on Windows, like when they were developing it.
Yeah.
I think it was done on Windows computers, so maybe that's why. Who knows?
Maybe. So you feel like you're ready for the quiz now?
Oh, go on then.
It's easy. You're gonna storm this, because I think you've answered it all. Don't worry. One of the questions isn't about like, oh, is there a debug version on blah blah blah, something like that. You've gone above and beyond this week.
Okay.
This month. I'm saying this week. Okay. Question 1. What is Captain Oliver's ship called?
It's the SS Dolphin, isn't it?
Yeah, you said it earlier.
Yeah, no, it's because it's referencing the code name for the GameCube.
Yeah.
Which,
so that's
going off point here, when they announced the Nintendo Dolphin, I was like, that name's amazing. And then when they released it as GameCube, I was like, that's terrible. Why didn't they stick with Dolphin?
Yeah, they did that with the Wii as well, though, didn't they? They're like, it's the Nintendo Revolution. That's the way.
But they reference it in Mario Sunshine as well. The Isle of Delfino is Isle of Dolphin.
Yeah. In Italian.
Yeah.
You know that? Your heritage.
Yes, we both have Italian heritage, so we should know that.
Yeah, we both have the exact same Italian heritage when you go back far enough.
And we're both so pal, you would never know.
Yeah. Right, question 2. How many types of Pikmin are there?
There are 3 types of Pikmin.
Good. I thought I might have caught you out and you might have said more because you were thinking about the other games. But what is the yellow Pikmin's special skill?
It can carry bombs and throw other Pikmin.
Yeah, that's
further.
it. That's fine. I put they carry bombs. Yeah, so you're storming through. You've got 3 out of 3 so far. You're going to get this next one. It's the red Pikmin's special skill.
It's resistant to fire, or it's the strongest?
Yeah, resistance to fire.
Cool.
Okay. What is
Blue one?
the blue Pikmin special skill? I didn't know that was going to be the next question.
Oh, it is can survive in water. / throw
Waterproof.
other Pikmin. Well, yeah, same thing.
I'll give you that. Okay. I've not heard you mention this in your research, in your in your facts. So, but I'm pretty sure you'll still get it right. How many Pikmin can Olimar have out in the field at one time?
Oh, I don't know this. 250?
No, it's 100. Haha.
I was going to say that because you mentioned 100 earlier.
Yeah. You were
But
not
you were
best
like,
on
oh.
my quiz this week. That's going to be a sad day for me when you get like 8 out of 8 on my quiz. I'm gonna, you're so stupid. What tech demo eventually evolved into Pikmin?
Oh, was it something called like Adam and Eve?
No.
Oh,
It's not what you think it would be.
I'm pretty sure I read something about this when I was doing my research, but I can't remember.
Yeah. Mario 128.
I must have read about that like years and years ago because that rings a bell.
Because it's 128 Marios all wandering around doing their own individual
I
thing.
remember now because
Yeah.
it was a tech demo and like I remember in a Nintendo magazine there's a picture of loads of Marios on like a sphere just running around.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's it. From that, well, I say that Pikmin was from that evolved from that tech demo. They were doing. It was supposed to be a sequel to a Mario game, but then they went down this path and it became Pikmin, and then the other half of the team went on to do Mario Galaxy, because they took the idea of having all those different characters on screen at the same time doing all this different stuff, went down the Pikmin route, and the spherical nature, the physics of being able to go around the underside and over stuff, that evolved into Mario Galaxy. Yeah.
Good fact.
I'm giving the facts now.
I am the fact man now.
Yeah. Okay, your final question. See if you're going to get the same score as you got last month.
Okay.
What is the name of Captain Olimar's home planet?
I've got this written down.
You cheat.
I know. It's just part of my notes. It's Hockatate.
Yep.
Yeah.
You are correct. Exact same score. 6 out of 8.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
I'm
I
above
was worried
average.
you're going to get 8 out of 8.
No, 2 of those questions yeah, one of them I knew, but just was lost in my memory.
Yeah.
And the other one had no clue. So yeah.
That was my one to ensure that you wouldn't get 10 out of 10. So if you got that, I would have been devastated.
No, good quiz. So that is that it for Pikmin then? Have you got anything else to?
That's everything I've got. I'll probably just say, if you've not ever played Pikmin before, then either find it somewhere on, there's ways to play it. If you don't have a GameCube, I will say no more.
On the Wii.
Or pick up the Pikmin 3 on the Switch if you've got a Switch, because that game's great and it comes with all the DLC that was on the Wii U. And yeah, so overall, really good game. And they fixed the whole day thing. There's no limit. You have the time to explore and find stuff. So yeah, that would be my message to the listeners / watchers.
That's what I would have said as well. Is if you ever get a chance to play it, give it a whirl. Because yeah, it is worth playing if you can find it cheap enough that you're happy to spend the money on, or like you said, you can find it if you go and visit some sort of pirate tavern somewhere.
Yeah.
Go and visit Jack Sparrow. I'm sure he's got a copy. But yeah,
you're on topic again.
Well, no, that's a bit. It's a couple of weeks.
Is it over now?
Yeah, it's over now.
Oh, by the time this comes out as well, I guess it will be.
Yeah.
Right. But well, thanks for listening, everyone.
Yes, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell.
Ding dong.
Ding dong.
僕たちピクミンあなただけについてゆく今日も運ぶ カオ増えるそして食べられるいろんな命が生きているこの星で